Hello, Gridiron Club members, and welcome to our first exclusive episode recapping Week 1 against Towson. I'm Dave Cicchini, and I'm joined by two of my players. To my right, I have junior running back Coleman Bennett, and to my left, I have senior safety Brent Jackson. It was a great day, I should say a great evening at Christy Mathewson Memorial Stadium on Saturday. We gave a great effort, did some outstanding things, but ultimately fell short in overtime to Towson, 14-13. The game was close throughout, and it was a defensive struggle on both sides of the ball. Our defense did an amazing job of keeping Towson out of the end zone. Our offense struggled at times, managed to come through with some big plays, but ultimately we found ourselves entering halftime 0-0. Towson struck first in the third quarter to go up 7-0. We were able to quickly drive down the field, and on the first play or second play of the fourth quarter, even the score up at 7 apiece, and that's where it would stay until overtime. Towson went on offense first and scored a touchdown on their drive. We answered with a scoring drive of our own, but we missed the extra point, and that's how the game would end, 14-13. Kind of anticlimactic to have it come down to a missed extra point, but I'm just so proud of how our players handled themselves physically. Such a big difference from a year ago to go out there against the CAA team with 40-some Division I FBS transfers on their team, and to go toe-to-toe, not just for 60 minutes. Shoot, our defense was out there in the end for 90-some plays and did an unbelievable job from start to finish, not giving any ground, any easy plays. Everything that Towson got, they earned, and we're very, very fortunate to have their effort and to come out of the game relatively healthy. On offense, the guy to my right, Coleman, you had an incredible day, not only on offense with running the football and catching the football, but also on special teams with a big kick return as well. If you wanted to open up and tell everybody about that.
So I definitely think offense did well. As well as special teams, a lot of people don't want to put as much time in special teams or effort, but I take pride in being on special teams. So I did have a good kick return to open up the second half. I would have liked to score, get a couple more yards, but it is what it is. And then offensively, I think we definitely come together as a team. I mean, if you look back to last year, we were scoreless the first game. So I think definitely putting some points up on the board for the first game this year. Just gelled together as a team. A lot of people were young last year, so we're getting more veterans, more leaders stepping up, and we just gave the people that were freshmen last year a chance to, have a summer off-season conditioning, strength, and just get bigger, faster, stronger, and come back this year ready to work.
Now, you're a guy who you played awful lot of football here so far in your career at Bucknell. You started some games at receiver a year ago and at running back as well. And you did a little bit of both in terms of being a threat, carrying the football on the ground, and also catching routes. Do you have any particular preference offensively to be a wide receiver or running back?
I wouldn't say a huge preference, but I mean, I do like to find myself in the backfield most times, but I really just like having the ball in my hands, so I think that's something I do excel at, getting the ball in my hands in space. But I think just being that running back receiver, there's other things that go into that, pass blocking and whatnot. So not just having the ball in my hands, I think there's also other things I could do. So, I mean, I think it doesn't really matter where I'm at on the field.
Well, you do seem to have a little bit of running back in your DNA, if you want to tell everybody about the relationship that your father has had with football as well.
Right. My father did play running back as well, so I guess say I'm following in his footsteps there. He played college at the University of Miami. Then he went on to play in the NFL for a couple of years with the Kansas City Chiefs and Washington Redskins, now known as the Washington football team.
Great. Over on the defensive side, Brent, what's the biggest difference that you've seen? You're another guy who's played an awful lot of football here. You're a captain on the team. What was the biggest difference that you saw from last year's defense to the effort that we were able to put forth against Towson?
See, honestly, I think the two biggest things that changed and things that I noticed was that, one, we were way more physical this year. We knew that coming into the game, Towson was going to try to be more physical team. They're going to try to run the ball most of the time. And at the end of the day, our front seven, our D-line, they really controlled the line of scrimmage. They weren't bullied at the line of scrimmage, and we were physical. We were hitting, we were running our feet on contact. And then the second thing I attribute to Coach Bowers, our defensive coordinator, that he's really tried to harp on us this year is to run and win. And that's the other biggest difference, our pursuit to the ball. All 11 guys on the field were running to the ball the entire game. And honestly, good things happen when you run to the ball. We were being physical, running to the ball, and ultimately making plays, and gave us a shot to win the game.
Absolutely, no doubt about that. Now, the defense was on the field for a lot of plays. 94 is the official count. We count, they don't always count the plays that have penalties on it or false starts where we have you down for 99 plays. How many of those 99 plays were you in the game for?
I believe Coach Butler and Coach Bowers, they statted me for 95.
95, right? So you got a nice break, right? Those 4 plays off and everything. What was that like? I'm going to assume that's the most snaps of football you've ever played in the football game. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
All right. And what was it like in that overtime?
Honestly, it was fun. I had a lot of fun playing that many snaps. While I was tired, I was cramping up a little back in the day. It was fun. I was out there playing with my teammates, my brothers. We were making plays, running to the football, and had a really competitive game all the way through. And I really enjoyed it. So while I did play a lot of snaps, I truly did not mind.
Yeah. It was outstanding to see just the defense to have that high level of energy to go 60 minutes and then into an overtime and to be able to play the way that they did. And I really do think, it's a part to the leadership that you have as a captain, but also Brent Searcy and Ben Allen and Gavin Pringle. We do have a few more senior leaders that do an incredible job on defense, and I really think that has bled on over just to the entire team in general because we're missing some of those guys on the offensive side of the ball. We don't have as many seniors, but I really think that confidence and the ability as our offense struggled early in the game to be able to know and rely that, hey, the defense has our back and was able to keep Towson from scoring points in that first half. And as our offense kind of found their footing, we were able to hang in there. And that's something that we definitely missed in last year. We had some really poor performances in the second half where physically we were just dominated by teams because we were young. We're still not super old on offenses. If you look at the starters, we really only started one senior on offense on Saturday, so we're still a young football team there. We've got some more veteran leadership on defense, but we are a lot bigger, stronger, faster, and most importantly, healthier than we were a year ago. And that enabled us, unlike Brent, who played the most snaps out of anybody on defense, we were able to sub a lot of players through. It was a hot night. It was a high humidity, sticky, and it was a tough battle for 60 minutes in overtime, and our players did really an incredible job of hanging in there, and that's in part to the fact that we were able to play so many players throughout the course of the game. Our next opponent is VMI. They are a good football team. They're 0-1. They lost on national TV to Wake Forest Thursday night. They get a couple of extra practices to prepare for us since they got their game over on Thursday as opposed to Saturday night. It will be an outstanding road opener for us, our first time on the road for this season. And it's a team that I would say is on par with Towson. Maybe not in terms of athleticism. They don't have as many FBS transfers on the team that Towson certainly had, so maybe not quite as athletic, big, and fast, or as veteran, but they play much better as a team. They're a smart football team. They do a very good job of executing their schemes on offense and defense. And we'd love to see anybody in the Virginia area to come on out and support us Saturday in Lexington, Virginia. I'm sure it's going to be another great game. Before we go, I want to say a big thank you to all of the support that you guys have given us over the years. The Bison Club does so much for our program. When we take the road and we travel, being able to bring a group of, in this case, 70 young men across 4.5 hours of highway for us to be able to afford 3 buses instead of 2, for us to be able to stay at the nicer hotel and get our players fed all you can eat as opposed to single servings. Little things like that, how our players dress when they're out on the road. All of that money comes through the Gridiron Club, and we really appreciate everything that you do. I know a lot of people think hey, it's for big things like the stadium projects that we're doing and stuff like that, but it's the little things that myself, our coaches, and I know our players appreciate, because it makes the student athlete experience a really, really great one. So thank you so much. And again, if you can give, if you can continue giving, we can surely use more support. So please, when you have that opportunity, send us a gift, and I promise you it goes to outstanding young men who represent this university and the alumni with pride. Thank you very much. Go Bison.